He's back, the original Pokémon anime rival. The badass, the lady killer, the man who dropped a low-key but hard-hitting diss that has echoed throughout the ages. Smell you later, Ketchum. That is right, Gary Oak is returning to the Pokemon anime at long last, but that's not all there is to it. So today, let's break down all the juicy info. Hey everyone, it's Charles. How are you today? 2021 is in full swing. Yesterday, we kicked off the year with a trending topic from the Japanese Pokemon community, and today, it is time to look at a real humdinger of a new opening that manifested itself in glorious fashion alongside last night's episode 50 of the Pokemon Journeys anime. Classic characters are coming back, new characters are stepping into the spotlight, and the shape of Pokemon Journeys is about to change. Today, we will be walking through this yummy OP piece by piece. So kindly request your Machoke to cross-chop that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to help me eat more than just beans and lettuce for the month of January, and let's jump right in. The opening kicks off with some superior slick profile shots of the big three with their Pokemon, and wowzers, what a hype cast has been put together here. Not to mention that if episodes 49 and 50 haven't shown it clearly enough, Chloe has truly come to the forefront to join Ash and Go on their travels. Chloe is in. Next up, we have a top-tier shaggin' wagon, none other than the Charizard-themed pimp mobile of Champion Leon. I wouldn't expect anything less from the Purple Panther, but this time the ladies are staying at home, and Leon's friends or apprentices are coming along for the ride instead. And let me tell you, from what we see in this opening, it looks like it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And not only does it look like Leon, Chloe, Go, Ash, and the others are having a real good old time, but the big role that the Champion's Chariot plays in this new OP tells us a couple of things. Firstly, it looks like we're going to have a segment of proper adventuring, with the group traveling from locale to locale within Galar for several episodes at the very least. And as someone who has found the sporadic jumps from place to place with no narrative consistency to be kind of jarring and not that exciting, please sign me up for this road trip. Secondly, it looks like Leon is going to continue to interact more closely with the group than he had done prior to the Sword and Shield arc. And that is absolutely Donfantastic. And beyond this Donfantastic stuff, we also see Chloe petting a Galarian Ponyta. Does this foreshadow Chloe's next catch? No, it doesn't. She is definitely catching that Shuckle. But I have to wonder where the group is off to. The Crown Tundra, the Isle of Armor, Pizza Hut, who knows? It's funny that Leon is the one navigating here given his tendency to get lost in the games and Twilight Wings, and I reckon we are going to see some pretty wild detours. Next up, we have Grookey playing with Pikachu and Sobble and jumping onto Ash and Go's faces, and while it's up in the air who Grookey will join, I would bet it is going to be Ash, simply because monkeys like to be with their own kind. Also, look at that Sobble smile. It is quite simply therapeutic. After that, we see Go drawn the way that everyone probably wishes all of the characters were drawn throughout the anime, basically looking like a badass. And Suicune, Raikou, and Entei turn up to flex on everyone, but the question is, will they actually get the attention that they deserved back in the Gold and Silver segment of the anime? It remains to be seen, but I'm looking forward to seeing how the upcoming Suicune episode plays out. And now it is time for the character highlight reel that will leave fans reeling. First up is Bootyologist Professor Oak. Second is Chad Dad Cerise. Third is cute but nobody cares Krissa. Fourth is that charming nerd Ren. Fifth is probably coming back again instead of Serena Karina. Sixth is Take a Cold Shower Sonia. Seventh is Ash's rival and Galarian Cake Monster, B. Eighth is the Elite Four's butt-womping Wickstrom. And ninth, but not last, is Iris. And let me tell you, annoying or not, I am so stoked to see Iris come back into the anime. Because not only have characters like Iris and green-haired Demetrio gotten totally shafted on return cameos since the close of Black and White, unless you count the specials that they appeared in, but it also felt to me that Iris's story was never taken as far as it needed to go. So I can only wonder, when she returns, will she have matured a little bit? Will she have become the champion of Unova like she did in the games? What kind of sick new dragon Pokemon might she have? How incredible does the inevitable pissy Dragonite versus friendly Dragonite match sound to you? Has the Gible that she caught in her special episode finally evolved? And with Axu not roosting on its usual perch, is it waiting in the shadows to surprise us by going full Haxorus on Mr. Ash? Whatever happens, a World Coronation Series between Ash and Iris is on its way, you know it, and I can't wait to see it. Well, with that out of the way, next up was the most exhilarating 3 frames of any Pokemon Journeys opening to date. Because the 10th and final character to reveal himself on the character reel was none other than Gary Oak. That is right, the original Pokemon rival is returning in Pokemon Journeys. And although he turned from battling to the Professor track years ago, just look at this guy. He's got that mean grin and battle-ready eyes as if it is 1998 all over again. And it makes perfect sense for Gary to reappear, since the boys are currently working as research fellows under Professor Cerise, and Gary is a professor in the making. It simply had to happen, but really I think that we are going to be treated to more than just that. A World Coronation Series run would be the dream, but at the very least, I'm assuming that we will get an exhibition match with Ash. As you may recall, after all, Ash still has a score to settle with Gary, as even after he finally beat Gary in the Johto League's Silver Conference, Gary came right back after Ash beat the Battle Frontier to crush him and Pikachu with his Electivire, even though he wasn't even focused on battles anymore. And outside of some action in Diamond and Pearl and a quick flashback in Black and White, he has been missing in action ever since. So when Gary comes back, if he and Ash do square off, which I suspect they will given the Anipoke Twitter account tease, I can only wonder what Gary's team might be. Could Gary's Mega Blastoise hit the pitch again against a temporarily returning Charizard for a no-holds-barred rematch? Will Umbreon dance the dance on Ash to inspire Chloe and her Eevee? And what new Pokemon could be on his roster? Whatever happens, you guys may know how much I love Gary Oak and Green, and without a doubt, this is the most hyped I have ever been about the return of a character in the history of the Pokemon anime. And I also wonder, is he still carrying the halves to that broken Pokeball? We shall see. But how about you? What kind of role do you think Gary will be playing when he returns in Pokemon Journeys? And also, very importantly, will the Gary girls also be coming back to cheer him on? Gary is on the way and I am so stoked, but let's keep moving forward. So after those massive drops, you see the boys and Leon dropping his signature pose to drum up the hearts of men and weaken the knees of women, and these shots of the group traveling across Galar, which really do give us something to look forward to. And I am glad to see that Pikachu has his seatbelt fastened, as the same can't be said for Go and Ash, although literally no one in Japan has ever fastened their seatbelt while sitting in the back seat, so I understand. We then see some shots of Pokemon Dynamaxing as the party rips across the plains towards a snowy mountain that may be of some significance. And then we have these great focus shots of Chloe and Eevee. She really is part of the group now. I am so happy to see that. And I loved how they showed Eevee at the center of all the evolutions, leaving us wondering which evolution Chloe's Eevee will evolve into, or if it will even evolve at all. I really do hope that we see her Eevee evolve evolve after Lana's Eevee never stepped up to Vaporeon status, and if I had to bet, my money is on Espeon or Leafeon. After that, we see Ash and Go on the run as legendary Pokemon are dropping left and right, and then we cut to this blistering battle scene in the rain. It's Lucario versus Cinderace, the next frontier for a rivalry that has been building up ever since the Darkest Day wrapped up. And although it hasn't been addressed directly, this conflict also represents the buildup of the rivalry between Ash and Go, with Go having stepped up not just as a catch expert but also as a capable battler. And I have to wonder, what if he beats Ash? The last meaningful scene of the OP is this banger of a battle between Leon's Charizard and Ash's Pikachu, and the artistic direction of this shot is simply magic. It nearly brings a tear to my eye. I mean, seriously, how wild does that look? The overall feel reminds me of the Tapu Koko battle that was the climax of Sun and Moon, and while it seems too early for this to be the final battle between Ash and Leon, it looks like we are in for something special nevertheless. The OP wraps up with the Shaggin' Wagon cruising through a wave of Pokemon and character assets of varying levels of quality. What the f is that? And the OP finally draws to a close. All in all, this was a dream OP come true. 2 big character comebacks for classic characters we haven't seen in years, an affirmation of Chloe's significance moving forward, great battles between Ash and Go and Ash and Leon, and an answer to where all of the Pokemon PNG files I made in MS Paint back when I was 9 years old finally ended up. In all seriousness, this was a real banger OP, and I can only say well done to the writers, the animators, and the OP's new singers who really drove this one home. But how about you? What was the most hype thing in the new opening? What kind of role will Gary and Iris play? And what in the blue hell happened in that last shot? I'm curious what you think. Well everyone, thank you for tuning in today. I can't tell you how hyped I am to see the return of Gary Oak, and we have some fun shows coming up, including my Pokemon Journeys Chocolate Egg Challenge, which the community has set up to be quite hilarious with all kinds of funny viewer-submitted challenges, a deep chat on what a 25-episode Pokemon anime designed for adults would look like, and a super big, super long mystery video. So do subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to follow me over on Twitter. And until next time, I hope you all have a very healthy, happy, and safe week. And as always, let's chat.
What?